Hello, today I would like to talk about Cops Prost problem. And many articles in the internet wrote Armageddon in the Linux world, but in fact it is not the problem as big as it seems. Instead, I'm going to tell more about the story and I'm going to show you the Ansible playbook that I have that allows you to scan the servers and check if the Cups Pro service running on them. So this is the Sekurak website, the sekurak.pl, and this is the article in Polish language, but I will try to translate it one by line, right? So they wrote that there is a serious flaws in every Linux CVSS 9.9/10 Armageddon, end of the world for Linux. Yeah, it seems that today's news were could be written the way that they are connected with the security, but they will not. In fact, the error in every Linux it it just bunch of errors in cups printing service, and the critical remote of the code, maybe it is even a critical, maybe even allows you to execute remotely the code without authentication, but this is not something that enthusiasts of cybersecurity expected, right? They thought that the whole idea is more serious, but in fact it is not. The roller coaster of alert messages and the sad history of the security researcher will be said, will be told about. I am going to talk about it one by one. The first, it is not the problem that it is touching the whole Linux world, as you can think, and maybe there are articles that are writing about it, and they thought that people thought that there's a very serious problem, but it is not, and it is just a problem with Capsprost service. And this service, in most cases, uh, uh, it is not enabled automatically by default. No, it is just disabled. And moreover, first of I think that it is very important to say that this service is not even installed in most modern distros. Of course, there might be some ISO images or IMG images, right? That have this service, uh, you know, enabled by default. And when you are installing the operating system, the Capsworthy service is installed and it is running with default settings. In fact, it may happen. That is why sometimes it is good to perform a check. However, in most modern distros and in enterprise servers, this service is not even installed. And if it is installed, it is not enabled by default. You have to enable it manually. But we need to understand more why the problem was reported at all. So we know that they wrote here that the flaw should published in 2 weeks, but because of the leak from the third Vince, the researcher Simone, I don't see exactly the name, Margaritelli, probably from Italy, known as Evil Socket, right? And he's an author of Better Cup and Ponagotchi. He decided to publish it earlier, so I will click this one. And you can see this is the whole blog about this actually flaw, and it's very, very long. So this is a very, very long article, and if you are curious, you can read this here. I will link it on my website. Of course, I will create a tutorial about this, and then you can read that yeah, if you will meet some conditions, right, it is possible to execute the code on a remote system without authentication. Okay, but you know, the Evil Socket, right? He's saying that he will publish probably sooner or later. We don't know when exactly. Two next posts that are describing that they will describe the exploitation of the macOS, actually of this caps broad service on macOS. And currently there is also a POC, so I'm going to open this one, and it is located here, so if you're curious, you can also read it. So calm down, there is no need to worry about it, because if you want to execute the code actually on a remote system, you need to have a non-standard configuration. So first of all, working caps process service, and first of all working on the user, on the administrator side. So yeah, you need to enable this service, start this service, and then run the print on a spoofed printer. And yep, there are some machines that have this running, and they suspect that there are some servers where it is possible remote executed unauthorized RCE, right? But for this very moment, they do not have any information about this, and that confirmed it. Okay, so they do not have this information, and they didn't confirm this thing. You can read that the CUPS is a common Unix printing system. It's open source modular printing system for Unix systems, also GNU Linux and Mac OS. And it allows you to manage and handling the printing tasks on local and remote printers. And that project is able to work with the Internet Printing Protocol, and thanks via the many different modules and printers drivers. And they wrote also that CUPS is not a part of the GNU Linux system, and it is not even a component installed by default, but it happens that some images will contain installed and configured, basically configured CUPS. And some users, they mentioned that it should be, the snap should be also checked. And CUPS is modular, and one of the part of the project is CUPS Browse. This is some kind of a helper daemon responsible for detection of network printers, adding them to the system, and handling the IPP, and creating queues, printer queues, and it is listening by default as a process in context of root user on port 631 UDP. And then maybe I will try to make it even bigger. Yep, exactly this one. So you can see here that the CUPS Browse is listening on this exact port here. Okay, and the process binds actually, one more time, binds to the in address any, and it is awaiting for the datagram, right? For the UDP datagram that contains information hex number text data, and then the code is checking who is the sender of the communicate of this send message, right? But default configuration doesn't define any limitations here, and they presented it. Then we have something about the daemon, that because the daemon is using the IPP protocol, then sending the packet that contains something like this, 03 HTTP attacker IP port printers whatever, executes a return connection to the address given in send datagram. And this allows you to get the actually information about the device, and the information is saved in a temporary file ppd that is needed for describing the printer in the system. And after just detection of the printer by the DNS as DMDNS or AVAHI, the CAPS browse automatically contacts with the device, sending the command actually get printer attributes to get the attributes of this printer, right? So, and in this information is sent about the version of the kernel, and they are mentioned here that the information about the kernel is in the user agent header. So if you need the printer to be added, all you need to do is to send a proper response for this request. So it is possible to spoof the printer through replacing IPP URL in the response, and this allows you to to make the attack more difficult to detect, right? And then they are writing more about it, that these just information about the printer, right? These attributes, right? So these attributes sent by the attacker that is trying to add a printer, they are just executed, by the API, right? And the API is generating a temporary PDD file, and parameters set by the attacker are not just filtered, right, or checked, and they are saved in PPD file. So the researcher from the Italy, right, he mentioned some parameters, and he told that these parameters allows you to execute a command on a printer service. And Fumatic, you can see here a PC command line, echo1, tmp pound, and you can see caps filter 2 application, PDF application, VND, scops, postscript, Fumatic rip. And you can see there's something like a command injection using the Fumatic rip filter. And it is very interesting that this actually vulnerability was patched a few years earlier, right? But there is a problem that the patch wasn't added to one of the filters, and now there's not the end of the problems, and there's a clarification that the researcher also checked exact implementation of parsers using fusing technique and the tool called AFL plus, right? And there's something like that. There's a print screen from the AFL plus presenting discovery of the input data for this program. It shows that I don't know. I mean, the command was, ended because of the error or memory corruption. And Evil Socket, yeah, the researcher from Dataly mentioned only, his actually discovery only to third and developers, but because lack of experience in this matter, right, he wasn't able to prepare POC that is illustrating exploitation, right? And in this case, exploitation type stack-based exploitation, stack-based buffer flow, and except this, in the description of the author in his blog, there is an information about possible race condition and DOS. So in the same situation that we have here, so we have a memory corruption and stack-based buffer overflow, probably it is possible to have a race condition or DOS. And it is worth to mention that the problems were reported by the researcher from a longer time, but he describes that he writes about it that he wasn't taken enough seriously, and he says that certs and developers of CAPS they didn't behave professionally when he was trying to inform them about that vulnerability. So yes, this is not the problem as big as let's say shell shock or log4shell, but in some situation it may lead to the very serious consequences. And you can see there's a print screen from the shutdown, right? And it shows you the numbers of servers that have CUPS browse enabled. And I asked Sakura, do they have a time machine, because the date is 2909 and today is 28 September, not 29. But yeah, I know this is very funny, and they have a time machine, and they they just picked up the information from the tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, it shows you the fact that a lot of servers are affected actually. And that's it. There is then more information that there is a schema of the exploitation process. So if you're curious, you can read about it. And summarizing, information about the serious flaw in Linux is not confirmed, the way they should be. Actually, the problem may be not serious as it seems, but it is worth to check first of all that you have a CUPS browse service actually up and running, enabled manually, because someone had to do this, and is the port 631 UDP and DNSSD enabled, and it is what to check and maybe even disable the port 631 UDP and DNSSD. I think this is a good approach, and we are awaiting for the next part of publications about macOS system and POC, so about the exploitation techniques. Okay, and now I will close this article. So all the links will be also on my website. And now you can see my GitLab. This is the repository that contains Ansible playbooks. And one of these is a FUPS browse check Ansible playbook. and I'm storing it here, but also I have it here, and I'm going to show you the file. So cat, then Ansible and playbook and cups browse check here. Exactly the same file is here. So I'm running it as a user Ansible. Then there is a method sudo, right? So Ansible has a sudo privileges. And then we have a check Python version on the remote host, because some hosts are older, they have a Python 2, some are newer, so they have a Python 3. And then check if systemctl is available for systemd services. Then check if browser service exists for systems with systemd. For non-systemd, then is the service up and running. Then stop the service for systemd or non-systemd, and disable the service for systemd and non-systemd. And at the end, you have the step 8, display service status for verification. So display cups browsed service status in JSON format for clarity, actually, because I want to have information not as a one-liner, but one by one in separate lines. This is something that allows you to read very nice, and you have a clear view is the service enabled or not, was it disabled, do you have a systemd or not, etc, etc. Okay, fantastic. So I will clear the screen. Now I will try to run the Ansible playbook. So run the Ansible playbook, use the -I, it means use the inventory. So I'm not going to teach you about this, because if you are curious how to use Ansible or how to use AWX that I'm going to present in a moment, then you should watch my previous tutorials, because I explained how to install and configure Ansible, and how to install and configure AWX, and how to make it work with the GitLab. So please watch it if you are curious. Okay, so run the inventory, run the playbook, take all the hosts inside this inventory, and put the whole content into the output log, because we want to see the output. And you can see it is running very smoothly. I have about, I don't really remember, 15 machines currently in my home lab, and it should end the story. And now let's just cut with the output, right? And you can see we have a lot of information here, and so we can scroll up and down, and you can see very nice JSON format, and I really like it. And what if I don't need information that are above, and I want to have only the JSON format? I want to extract it only this data in JSON format, and get rid of everything else that is in this file. Quite simple, and I'm using the set command to get only the JSON format, and cut the filtered. And now you will see that I have only a JSON format in this file, and I don't have any other additional information here. So this is exactly what I really need, and what you need in your company if you will receive a ticket or information via email or messaging system, that you need to provide a list of systems where the CAPS browser is running, and you will see it was, but it is not running anymore. I disabled it and I stopped it for security reason, and now maybe it's good to then disable the port 631 UDP on a firewall on operating system side, or eventually on external firewall. Okay, so this is it, and I will clear the screen, and now I will show you the AWX here. Okay, and it seems I'm logged out, so I will log in there. For give me a second. Okay, I'm logged in, and now, yeah, and what is very important, I'm going to show you, this is something like an inventory. So if you want to create a, let's say, a global inventory that will contain all the hosts from all the inventories in AWS, you have to just add a smart inventory like that, and then you need to provide a name and description, and can be all something like this. Let's say all like that, and all, then the organization should be set by default. And here is something like a search filter. So click on this magnifier, then one more time type here a dot, exactly, just dot, and click on the magnifier once again. Wait a little bit, it will rescan it, and then click select. Here we go, and then click save. I'm not going to do this because I already did it, so I will cancel it. I have the inventory all, so I will edit it just for a moment, and I will show you that it is done exactly the way as I presented. So when you have this inventory that contains all the inventories this way, then you have to go to the project. Of course, the project is already created by me, so if you're curious how it is connected to GitLab, then the tutorial that I created will tell you how exactly achieve this goal. Then go to template, and now we have to create some kind of a template. And I have a template caps broad check, so I will show you how it is created. So you have just to create a new one and fill fields. So exactly, you need to provide a name, description, job type. Then you need to provide an inventory. You can see in this case is all, because I want to scan all the host, and GitLab project is attached. AWS and the correct version is selected, and the playbox exactly the one from the inventory, because if the project is added and scanned, and then you will pick up the correct project from this GitLab, then it will automatically shows you the files that are exactly inside this project, right? So I will do this. Just give me a moment, and it was here, and all the files that are here automatically are visible here in the drop down list. And I will cancel it, and that's it, and you don't feel anything more, and just these things, and that's it. And then click scroll down, click save, and it will be the end of the story. And now you have two approaches, and the first one is just to click on template, and the template is created, and you can click on the name here, and then click on a button launch to launch the job, actually here, this one. Or you can go back to templates one more time, and instead of clicking on the name and launch, just click on the rocket icon, and it is exactly the same role as launch button. It just enables and starting the job that is running on AWS side. So it will create a pod, and inside this pod it will run a container, and this will allow you to scan the whole network, the whole servers, every servers, and every single inventory defined in AWS. And that it. This is the end of the story. And I would like to mention that this thing is much slower than command line, because in command line we can suppress some messages. We can, for example, do not display gathering fact, but AWS is showing us gather facts even if the playbook, and I'm going to show you this one, contains information. I will make it even bigger. You can see gather facts is no, but in my case, by default, the AWS displays the information, so gather facts is displayed in this log. And it is doing the job very, very long, because 15 servers consumes about 5 or 6 minutes even for this. So I will leave it as it is. Then I will speed up the video, and then you will see how it looks like. Okay, so you can see it's done, and now you can just reload the output to see the result. And you can copy the whole data from here, and sometimes it takes longer. Now it's done, and you can see, yep, everything is uh, executed properly. You have the summarize, and actually what you can do, you can just highlight only this part in JSON format, and you can just quickly copy and paste it to I don't know, some kind of a document, and that's it, and you have a host detail. And very, very convenient tool, however, much slower. I just can set, you can even schedule it, and you can just, set it to run and log out and go back in few hours when you are scanning, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 servers. It will do the job, and it will display the whole information, and you can then just review it and eventually fix the issue if there is a kind of problem with, I don't know, maybe a connectivity to some kind of servers. But basically it is just working like charm, right? I hope you enjoyed this video, so thank you very much. Have a nice day or night. Take care. Bye bye.